NFL owners meet next week in West Palm Beach, Florida. Competition committee will be there. They're going to argue and examine, and then they're going to vote on different rule changes going forward. Let me run through each one. Playoff seeding. The aftermath of what happened to the Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings this past season. They are proposing that the number one team in a division or in a conference, number one team in a conference with the best record will get the number one seed. Okay, so that was the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're going to seed the rest of the teams based on win-loss records. They're not going to seed them by division winners.
Good.
Because what you had was the number one seed and then each of the other division winners. So Minnesota wound up getting screwed despite a phenomenal record. They wound up being number 5 in the seeding. So now what they're proposing is top team gets the number one seed. Everybody else gets seeded based on their one-loss record, whether or not they won the division or not. So that's a radical change.
Interesting. That still screws a team that didn't make the playoffs. They might have a division winner that has a lesser degree.
Yeah, but odds are if you're a division winner, unless you're sitting there at 8 and 9 in a crapola division, if you're 8 and 9, you'll be the last team in, but you still get in because you're a division winner.
Right.
But they're not going to guarantee an 8 and 9 team the 4th slot.
Perfect.
As a division winner.
That's good.
Okay. So seeding, that's going to be the first topic that's going to be voted. Overtime. They are proposing expansion of overtime from 10 minutes in regulation to 15 minutes. Overtime will be a 15-minute period. They're also proposing each team during the regular season will get a possession rather than coin flip. We go down, we score a touchdown, game over. So they're going to guarantee it'll be a 15-minute overtime period. Each team gets to touch the ball at least one time. Like that? Dislike that?
Just go to the college system. It's so much more exciting.
No, they're not going to the college system. This is.
But it's a dumb rule because they'll say, well, you can win on a touchdown, but you can't win on a field goal. And, it's all these ifs and buts. I don't like it.
Yeah, but now it's going to be everybody gets a kick at the can.
All right. Okay. But only in the regular season?
Well, the postseason rules will stay in effect.
So that means you don't get like they could have that Eagles Chiefs thing a couple of years ago.
No, postseason, both teams get a possession.
Because that's what it's always been in the postseason.
Yes.
So now it's consistent.
This will be in the regular season.
Okay, now that's good.
Okay, next one has to do with quarterbacks. They're talking about giving the head coach 2 quarterback challenges. If the officials miss a call, it would be on instant replay. It would entitle, "My quarterback, Joe Burrow, got hit in the face mask. He never threw a flag. I'm going to throw an instant replay challenge. You review it. And if that's the case, we get a penalty out of it."
Good.
So they're talking about instant replay challenges on face masks and roughing the quarterback.
Good.
Next one, booth replay. Upstairs, if they see something down on the field, they can alert the referees. There was a chop block. There was an illegal crackback block. This guy got blown up on the sidelines. You need to throw a flag. Now, the replay booth in the past had the right to communicate to the referee down on the field to pick the flag up if you missed the call or made a mistake. Pick the flag up. Now they're having dialogue that we're going to go down to the referee and say, this happened, throw a flag, delayed flag. Hey, you got the technology, get the call right. Am I right or am I right?
Just get it right, man.
Okay. Next one, tush push. Green Bay has proposed. It's a dangerous play. So a lot of stuff happens down at the bottom of the pile. They're going to vote on outlawing the goal line tush push that the Philadelphia Eagles hold a patent for.
That's a weak sauce, man.
You don't like that?
No. I mean, I think like the Eagles sort of figured out a way to kind of outmaneuver everybody, and it's just quarterback sneak. What's the difference?
Quarterback sneak, illegal push.
Well, why not? I mean, you could push, linemen push their running backs into the end zone all the time.
Okay. And that's going to be voted on. We'll see if it gets outlawed. Next one, kickoff rules they installed last year were really good. Injuries were way down, and that's what this whole thing was about. Now they're talking about any kickoff that becomes a touchback goes into the end zone, not returned. Ball's going to come out to the 35, not the 30.
Good.
They want more returns or more balls put in play rather than most of these coaches decided, they'll kick the thing out of the end zone. They come out to the 30. Now it comes out to the 35. 5-yard difference is a big, I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know, but all I know is that Donald Trump thinks the kickoff rules in the NFL are weird. You think he's kind of sticking his nose in it?
You want me to make a political comment about the president? Onside kick. This has been an arguing point. It's not been very successful. The injury, there is an injury factor to the onside kick. They've had this debate 2 years in a row. It might come up for a vote this time. They'd replace the onside kick with a 4th down and 20 play.
Yeah.
So, John, you have a chance after scoring. Instead of having an onside kick with the risk you won't get it, or onside kick or risk your guys get hurt, we'll give you a 4th and 20. And if you convert it, that's like recovering an onside kick. You can get the ball for another possession. If you don't, my guys get the ball. I think it maybe at midfield they're talking about. But so you like?
I like that. I think it's a pretty creative rule because the onside kick is now just a joke because you have to announce that you're going to do it.
Negligible.
Yeah. So sounds like an interesting change.
Okay. Hey, Fans Forum chat box is open. You want to comment on any of these hot topics about these rules? The owners and the competition committee going to meet next week, and they're going to take some votes here. We made some changes to the rules. Last